The majority of pop songs stay in the same time signature for the whole duration of the tune, and often that time signature is 4/4. But today I want to show you some songs that subvert that expectation by throwing in random bars of 3/4. Adding in random bars of 3/4 into a song that's in 4/4 basically has the effect of sounding like we've missed out a beat, because we were expecting to have 4 beats in the bar and suddenly we've only got 3. So this creates a fantastic but very unique effect where we're skipping into the next bar 1 beat early. Another example of this effect is I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. Just like Blondie, Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll is also largely in 4/4, although we do get some occasional bars of 2/4 like here.
I knew he must have been about 17. He was going strong, playing my favorite song, and I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me.
But the interesting bit that I want to talk about is the sudden change to 3/4 that we get here. Now this example of a missing beat, at least to me, doesn't feel particularly noticeable. It doesn't feel very jarring. It actually ties in quite nicely with the cadence of the chorus. When we get this hook again later, at first we've actually lost that bar of 3/4 and the whole thing is in 4/4. And this sets up our expectations, because immediately after this we go into the original version which did have the missing beat. So we get a version with no missing beat, immediately followed by a version with a missing beat, so it sets up the contrast really clearly. This missing beat, this 3/4 trick, definitely adds a certain type of tension to the music. We want that final beat to resolve, but we're not getting it. At the end of I Love Rock and Roll, we do actually resolve this rhythm, because the very final time that we get this hook, we get the 4/4 version, which resolves it quickly with that final beat. All You Need Is Love by the Beatles uses the same technique as well, but it uses it so much more thoroughly than the other two examples. In my first two examples, this 3/4 trick was used quite sparingly, only in certain moments of the song. But in All You Need Is Love, it's used as the foundation of the verse section. The verse is constantly jumping back and forth from 4/4 to 3/4.
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy.
So, as I said, unlike our other examples, this combination of 4/4 and 3/4 is happening so regularly in this song that maybe it would be best to write it down as 7/4 with the occasional bar of 4/4. It could certainly make the page look less messy if we did it this way, although seeing 7/4 written down at the beginning of the song might give the performer the wrong idea about how to conceptualize the rhythm of the song. But to try and show you what this 4/4-3/4 combo is doing for All You Need Is Love, here's an example of what it would sound like if it was just in 4/4.
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy.
One thing that happens in this song when you replace the bars of 3/4 with 4/4 is that these pauses in the vocal line become 1 beat longer. And yeah, that doesn't really matter that much, but it just stops the melody from being pushed forward as much. These skipped beats are causing the song to be pushed forward. They create a forward momentum because we keep tripping forward into the next bar. Now, one songwriter that I've wanted to talk about on this channel for a very long time is Burt Bacharach. And the song I'm going to talk about today is I Say a Little Prayer. Like my other examples, I Say a Little Prayer is predominantly in 4/4. However, the verse features this regular shift to 2/4.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you.
A bit bit like I Love Rock and Roll, this song actually uses 3 different time signatures: 4/4, 2/4 and 3/4. The 3/4 bar of I Say a Little Prayer comes along in the chorus. Each line of the chorus goes 4/4, 3/4, 4/4 before we then repeat that same line again. So this is almost doubling down on the skip a beat trick, because we're getting our bar of 3/4 that breaks the flow of 4/4, skipping the beat and pushing us forward in the rhythm. But also the phrase is only 3 bars long. Usually in most songs we'd have a 4-bar phrase before it repeats, but here we repeat after only 3 bars. All of the examples I've talked about so far have used this trick multiple times during the song, but the last example I want to talk about saves it for one pinnacle moment in the tune. For the final chorus of Bon Jovi's classic Living on a Prayer, we get a key change, a very famous key change. And this, as I've mentioned before, is a fairly standard trick, key changing up for your last chorus. But what Bon Jovi do to make this even more exciting, to maximise the impact of this key change, is they skip a beat as we key change. So they're not just dropping us into a new key without any warning, they're dropping us into a new key without any warning, one beat earlier than we thought the bar was even going to end. So there you go, there are 5 different songs that use what I call the 3/4 trick. And thank you again so much to all of the patrons that make these videos possible, to those on the screen right now, and a special thanks to Andres Sainz Diaja, Andrew Brown, Bob McKinstry, Chris Lawrence, Daryl, David DeFundifer, David Eford, David Spalding, George Taylor, Nancy Gillard, Peter Dunphy, and Roger Yun. It also looks like we're about to hit 30,000 subscribers, which really just blows me away. So thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. I'm going to be making another Q&A video to celebrate that milestone, so if you have any questions at all about music or what I do or whatever, put them in the comments below. Thank you very much.
Every day I'm listening to your drumming, and I grew up listening to it, and I'm always hearing these sequences, which you were just doing. I'm sure you weren't even working it out beforehand. You just did it, and now it's immortalized.
Yeah, I never worked it out, so I could never work a fill out. It comes in the emotion of the song.